What's going on, Photog Nation? I'm back again with my weekly podcast. This is Behind the Shutter. You are either watching this on Patreon or you're listening on one of the many platforms that this is on. Spotify, Google Play, or Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to it from. Thank you. Like I said, this is a weekly podcast about behind the shutter, behind the photography industry, the tips and tricks that I use to make my business successful. This could be just photography. This could be actual business side of photography and a little bit of everything in between. So I have a doozy for you guys today. But before I get into it, let's talk about what's going on in my life coming up. So I need to touch on something real quick because it is actually very personal, and it's very close to me and what's going on. So as of last night, just a few hours ago, two tornadoes went through Nashville, Tennessee. There have been so far 7 deaths. And I just want to start off by saying that I am thinking about all of my friends, family, and just everybody in Nashville that is lost. And I'm actually headed down there this Friday, and this trip was planned to do photography down there, and now it has completely changed. I'm still going to be doing a lot of photography while I'm down there, but it's just going to be a completely different atmosphere and feeling being there. And I don't even know what's really left standing. I've seen pictures just this morning, and it looks like a lot of the area is just really messed up. I have some friends that are down there right now from Wisconsin that have traveled down there for a vacation, and they said it looks like a war zone. So I'm not looking forward to that side of it. I am looking forward to the photography side and going down and hopefully photographing some waterfalls around the state. But that's what's going on in my world. Once again, I just want to send my thoughts out to everybody that's been affected by these tornadoes in Tennessee last night. They're still just getting information now. So let's get into today's topic, though. Today's topic is how to crush your appearance. I want to talk to you guys about something that has recently come across my desk, as they would say in the business industry. But I didn't really ever think about this, and I am guilty of a lot of this stuff years ago, and even some of it even more recently. But I never really thought about it until it was actually brought to my attention in a meeting that I had just a day or two ago with a couple. And I didn't really think about the strength that this has, but I want to talk to you about your appearance. And I'm not talking about your clothing or anything like that. Really, that's not the point of this. I'm not talking about your appearances and how you look, but your appearance is how you portray yourself in your business aspect. It's very important. I never really thought about it until it was brought to my attention, and I'm like, man, I potentially could have hurt my business if I wasn't thinking about this stuff. So as you can see on the screen, if you're watching it on the Patreon page, I have a little PSD open, and I have some tips on here. If you are listening to this, I'm actually going to put this on my on my website, iamjoshuarussell.com, in the blog. But as long as you're listening along, you really don't need to download this. It's just a simple PSD that shows the same things that we're talking about. So I want to tell you the few things that I feel are super important and why. This is just my opinion. Don't forget that. All of this is always just going to be my opinion. I'm not saying that these are the tried and true answers, but I feel that this is the things that I've subconsciously been doing that have helped my business. So we're going to get right into it. The first one that I want to talk about is people already know you before they even talk to you. And what do I mean by that? Going into this meeting that I went into, we were chatting, and we were talking about the basic wedding photography stuff, and she actually said that she goes, well, yeah, I did some looking around, and I actually went to your personal Facebook page and checked you out before we even decided to take a meeting with you. And it kind of stopped, and it made me think, like, there are a lot of Facebook detectives out there and social media detectives, and everybody nowadays has access to your information, whether you have your Facebook page or your Instagram page or anything locked all the way down as secure as it can be, there are still ways for people to find out what's going on in your life before they even meet you. This is super important to know because if you're just, acting a fool on your Facebook page, on your personal Facebook page, and trying to keep it different than your business, it's not going to happen. People are going to find this stuff. They're going to find out stuff about you, and you need to know this. You need to know that everything that you say and do in the comments, shares, all of this can be found. And no matter what you think, it's possible to find this information. People can tag you and stuff. People can, share posts to you. But no matter what, it is possible to be seen, and these people are going to find it. So always think about your appearance, especially if you're trying to work in business photography and you want to keep that super clean, professional look. That, if you're trying to ask for tens, 20s, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a photography project, but you're on your Facebook page just posting, sexual memes or very bad photos of, sharing these just terrible memes or not funny jokes that somebody could take and see them as negative, that could affect your business. So think about what you're sharing, because there are Facebook detectives out there that are going to snoop and find out everything about you. And I encourage it because I know my business and my personal Facebook page, my personal social media accounts, they stay pretty on par with my business because of this exact reason. I love to be completely transparent. I love to be able to show that I am who I am at all times. I'm not just some terrible person in personal life and then portray this great business. Everything that I do through and through can be seen. You can message me on my personal Facebook page and talk to me. I give tips and tricks on my personal Instagram, and everything is the same. And I live openly to show all of this. So the next thing we're going to talk about is still the same thing, and that's do not overshare on social media. Don't go posting every single thing that's happening in your life, even on your personal page, if you run a business that you're worried about people are going to find out stuff. So basically no oversharing I'm talking about the negative stuff that's going on in your life, because if it looks negative and if your life is terrible, these people are going to see this and they're going to be like, well, I don't want to work with them because they have a terrible life and they're posting all this negative stuff that's going on in their life. Maybe they don't really care about their business, and maybe their business isn't successful, so maybe their photos aren't successful or good looking, I should say. So basically what I'm trying to say is don't overshare the negativity that's going on in your life. And now I know everybody has negative stuff going on in their life. It just happens. Times get stressful. Money gets low. People argue. People fight. You stop talking to friends. You get down on your luck. You get behind on bills. It happens. We understand that. We completely know that. It happens to everybody, and we understand that. But you don't need to be posting it on Facebook for potential clients to see, because it really does show a negative impact on your business. First of all, if all you do is complain, then you're gonna be seen as a negative person. If your comments on your Facebook all the time are, I just wish I had a boyfriend or girlfriend, or I just can't get over my ex, or just all this negative stuff, and it's just negative, and that's all you do is you overshare your personal negativity. It's not going to show a good light on yourself. It's gonna hurt your business, and I know this firsthand from years and years ago. Don't overshare the negativity, because people, as rough as it sounds, people don't care. They may care, personally, but they don't care when they're searching for a business prospect. If they're looking for somebody to work with, they don't care to read that. because you're going to bring them down too, and that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for photography that's going to make them happy and please them and get them more business with your photos, or get them memories with your photos. So don't overshare on Facebook or on social media. They can see you everywhere. That's the next big tip. And it goes along with everything that I've already been talking about, but they honestly can see you everywhere. No matter what you think, no matter how locked down you think your Facebook profile is, or your Instagram, or if you don't share on TikTok stories or in Snapchat stories or anything, your Twitter's pretty locked down, it doesn't matter. By accident or by not meaning to, you may be tagged in something that is negative, or you may be shared something that isn't foreseen as a business type person. So they're going to find you, I promise. So make sure your profile, make sure your appearance is a positive one, and try to think about your business at all times. This is a major, major no-no. Do not badmouth other vendors. And in general, do not badmouth anybody. You'll live a much better, much happier life if you do not badmouth other people. But specifically, do not badmouth vendors, because all it does is it makes you look like a terrible person, a bad person, because it doesn't matter, what this other photographer's doing. It doesn't matter what another DJ is doing. It's not your business, literally. It's not your business personally. It's not your business. Don't worry about other vendors, and don't badmouth other vendors, because you never know who people know. So let's say that they're looking at me as a wedding photographer, but they have a friend who's also a wedding photographer, but they're not looking for their style. My style is completely different. Everybody knows that. It's very colorful, very vibrant, but they have a friend that shoots light and airy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know so-and-so, and then she's just not that good of a photographer. But if you want to book me, that'd be great. Now, they are friends with so-and-so photographer, and you have just then badmouthed their friend. You not only have discredited a vendor, which may or may not be true, but you have badmouthed their friend, and that just doesn't work. They're not going to book you because you've talked smack about one of their personal friends, and you've just lost a client. So don't badmouth other vendors. Don't badmouth other people in general, especially on social media, because like I said, it will be seen. Try not to start drama. Try not to be any beefs with people, and just worry about yourself and show why you are the good choice, not why other people are the bad choice. That's what you should be focused on, is showing why you are the right choice, not why other vendors are the wrong choice. It'll go a lot further in a meeting, showing why you're the right choice and the other vendors don't show why they're the wrong choice, because they may not be the wrong choice. You may go into a meeting and it just not be a right fit. But if you've badmouthed somebody else, you're definitely not going to be the right fit. So don't badmouth other people, other vendors, anybody. Just don't badmouth people, man. Give up on the negative things in life. This is so true for myself. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I mean by that. Almost 20 months ago, I gave up alcohol. I cut down on drinking soda. I cut down on pretty much all the negative bodily things that I could in my life. Now, I still love cheeseburgers, still eat pizza all the time. I can down like 20 sushi rolls. So don't get me wrong, that's still a negative side. But I gave up alcohol. And the reason I gave up alcohol is not because I felt like I had a drinking problem, but I wanted to be able to focus my full attention on, one, my family, most importantly, and my business. Because the way that I look at it is, if I'm out at a bar getting drunk and I make a complete fool of myself and somebody sees me that has either already booked me or are thinking about booking me, that may lose money in my bank account, my business account, because I was acting a drunken asshole. And they saw me out and said, "Hey, isn't that Josh Russell, the photographer, the one that we were looking at his portfolio?" And then they see how much of a fool I am, or I say something that, it could be misconstrued as something negative. And then they end up not booking me. So that's why I gave up alcohol. That is the main reason I gave up alcohol. Also because I had some stomach problems and I didn't want to die. But the main reason that I still am staying strong with this no alcohol thing is I don't ever want to be seen in a negative light, whether I'm out drinking or partying, or, I don't want pictures of me doing keg stands no longer online. I'm 37 years old. I don't want to be seen in that light anymore, especially when it comes to me running a business. And when you run a self-employed business, all of you people that already do know that you are never off the clock. You always have to be available for messages. You always have to be seen as professional. And if not, you could potentially lose yourself money. So it's very important to always give up negative things that are going to affect you. That could be people. I mean, if there are people around you that all they do is talk, negative online, or they are always getting into fights, or they're just constant drama with people, you don't need those people in your life, because just being seen with those type of people can affect your business. And you don't want to affect your business in any negative light at all if you can. I mean, granted, there are always going to be times where somebody is just not going to agree with you, or they're going to see something you do and just think it's negative. So at all times, it's just realize that it's not always going to happen. So we're going to go to the next one here. The next one is keep with your brand. And what I mean by keep with your brand is this is a little bit of a different one, I guess I should say. Keep with your brand. What I mean by that is always be seen in the same light that you would in your studio or on a project. Now, this goes kind of towards the physical appearance side. I know that's what I said that I wasn't really talking about in this podcast, but this one kind of leans towards your physical side. If you are always seen in a trucker hat, in like with me, let's go with my look. If you watch my YouTubes, I'm almost always wearing a trucker hat. I'm almost always wearing either a blank tee or something with just a little logo on it. And I always have jeans on. So when I'm out, that's what I'm comfortable in. So that's what I portray myself in my business as well. I'm always in like a trucker hat or a beanie, always just a t-shirt and jeans. I keep this simple feel to my business. I keep kind of some scruff on my face. The only time that I go differently than that is during weddings. Weddings, I'm always in a polo shirt, black pants. I usually wear all black Nikes. That way they look nicer than just wearing some tennis shoes. I'm always clean shaved. I'm always have a clean shaved head. The appearance is very important. Weddings, you want to stay professional, super, super professional. But with working day to day, especially if you're doing business shoots, if you're aiming your business at an edgier side, then wear a t-shirt and jeans. If you're aiming at a super high class, high scale side, you probably should be in a dress suit coat and a button up and dress pants all the time. So keep with your brand, but try not to derive from it. So if you are always in a suit and coat, dress suit coat and button-up shirt, then you probably should be in that most of the time, especially if you're out in the public. If you're a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy like I am, and that's what you show on your YouTube, that's what you show in your promotional photos, your promotional videos, show your true self. So whatever you feel comfortable in, stay with that. Just try not to bounce all over the place, because it'll get confusing subconsciously for people. Next one, don't be afraid to admit you're wrong, because I guess the reason that I say that, the reason that I'm saying don't be afraid to admit you're wrong is you don't need to go out there and say like, hey, I'm wrong. But what I mean by that is don't put something online if you're not 100% true that you know it. because this is going to give you a bad appearance. Like, oh, this guy has all these opinions about stuff, whether it be photography related, whether it be anything, any sort of, something that can be misconstrued as, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is really unprofessional. So if you don't know you're 100% true on something, don't talk about it. Don't put it out there for somebody to judge. Now, with that being said, there's always going to be somebody that disagrees with you. It's just inevitable that there's always going to be somebody that doesn't agree with what you're saying. So remember that, but try to, try not to put anything out there that you don't know 100%. We're going to get into the next one, and I think it might be the last one. It is. Just be a genuinely good person. I say this as much as I can. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole to people. Just be nice. Open doors for people. Say hello to people. Say thank you. It's just be a good person, both online, in person, on your Facebook. There's no reason for negativity in this world. If everybody would just be nice to each other, it would just be the best place on earth. It really would be. This earth would, in general, would just be a great place. I know this is kind of a cop-out last answer for this, but seriously, just be a good person. And when people are Facebook snooping on you and they see that you donate to places, or you are, active in benefits, or you're giving away free sessions for the right cause or for a good cause, and you're even telling people happy birthday on the daily, or congratulating your friends on accomplishments, whatever it may be, just be a good person. It'll go a long, long, long way in the end. It'll help you make a very successful business. And that's what I want to see you guys do, is just be successful. Have a great business, have a great life, and enjoy it. I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast. I'll be back next week after my trip to Nashville. I'm sure I'll have a ton to say and a ton to talk about. But for now, I want you guys to get out there, have some fun, enjoy the week, enjoy the weekend, no matter where you are. I'll talk to you guys later. Get out there. Let's make your success. Peace.